The Central Bank of Nigeria has quashed media reports that it is devaluing the Naira in attempts to harmonize the exchange rates in the country. Now, weeks ago, some financial experts had predicted that Nigeria's central bank was likely to devalue the Naira to balance and narrow the difference between the official exchange rates and that of the parallel markets. Their prediction was hinged on the incoming administration, and as forecasted, President Tinubu in his inaugural speech said his government will unify exchange rates. Today, news and social media have been awash with Naira devaluation and forex pegging stories. But the CBN says this information is false. So what will it take to harmonize the exchange rates regime? I am Keminni, Amanor. You're welcome to The Square. Joining our gathering today is Dr. Diran Fawibe. He's Group Chairman and CEO of International Energy Services Limited, based here in Lagos. Doc, you're welcome to The Square. Doc, if you can hear us, we can hear you. You may be muted. But my first question to you is this unified exchange rate achievable, and how can Nigeria get there?
Well, I believe the unification of the exchange rate, that's the parallel market with the official exchange rate, is possible, provided we meet certain conditions. First of all, the current situation, the gap between the official exchange rate and parallel market is because of dollar scarcity to defend the Naira. Today, we are having official exchange rate of about 461 or 465 to a dollar as against parallel market, which is about 700 to 750. Some transactions being done range from that 700 will be 730, 720, depending on the availability of dollar a particular day. But we've that situation where it got up to 750. So when you have this gap, obviously it's incentive to business activities, especially for those who have to import other raw materials for their operation, and especially those who will have to source exchange rate from the parallel market. So unification of the exchange rate will be better for the Nigeria economy and will make the system very transparent. But if we don't have the dollar, that will be a major problem. And it's just when we have people patronizing the parallel market, it's simply because they don't have access to dollar or forex through the central bank. There are some manufacturers today who want to import equipment that will have to wait for more than a year before they get foreign exchange through CBN. So obviously, they would have to patronize the black market, and that is the major problem. So unifying the exchange rate will improve productivity in the country and will make things easier for everybody. But we then have to have the forex to be able to, the dollar to be able to defend this situation. And the president
so Doc, you know, perhaps we should have got into this first. Let's first understand what it means to unify the exchange rate. What does this mean? You know, does it mean that what the banks get from the CBN is the same as what we also get? What does that mean, really, to have a single exchange rate regime?
Now, what it means is that the people will no longer be able to, or people will not have the encouragement or incentive to go to parallel market. If you can get the exchange rate or whatever you need from your bank as the official exchange rate, then why do you have to patronize the parallel market? And then unification will be harmonizing the two exchange rates. That is, the parallel market will no longer be there like 700, 750 naira to a dollar. Then if ever it requires that the official exchange rates have to move up a bit, say for example, instead of 465, if the official exchange rate is still 500, it's totally different or much better than exchange rate being 700. But the actors, the operators that is playing on this gap will then have to be controlled and managed not to be able to achieve this.
Very well. Now, one of the things or one of the tools that have been tipped in order to achieve this is devaluation. Although the central bank has quashed that notion that it plans to devalue the naira. But what really is this devaluation, and how does it help with the cause of wanting to, or perhaps the bid to want to unify the exchange rate regime?
Well, I don't really believe that devaluation will be the answer to unify the exchange rate. Devaluation will mean that you are bringing the value of the naira in relation to dollar, to be on at a lower level. And if ever you devalue the value of naira, and you don't have the dollar, in fact, you have done more damage to the economy than even before you go into devaluation. Devaluation, has to have some strategic objectives. What do you want to achieve where you are devaluing your currency? Do you want to make your export more attractive to those who will be importing, to those who will be exporting? Don't forget that in that case, you may be wanting to protect local industries because when you devalue, it makes import to be more expensive, and this will make buyers or consumers to shy away from importation of products, and then in that case, the local manufacturers will be able to sell their products if they actually do have. But the other side of the coin is the fact that if you don't have the goods to sell, people will resort to all manners of methods to be able to bring imported products into the country. So it requires careful planning. If you are devaluing the currency, you have to do thorough analysis to say what will be your gains from this currency devaluation as against your losses. But if we do it in a haphazard manner, at the end of the day, we may be doing more damage to the economy. So we have to do this based on careful analysis and planning in terms of what will be the gains, what will be the losses. Otherwise, you'll be
indeed.
We'll
see what tools, perhaps we'll see what tools the central bank employs in the very near future. But I'm gleaning from all that you have told us today that in order to make any of these tools very efficient, we need to have the reserves, the dollar reserves also. Is that something that already exists? How do we shore up our dollar reserves? How does the CBN go about that?
Okay, let's look at it this way. Until about 2-3 years ago, the naira to dollar was not gyrating as much as we have today. I think about 6-7 years ago, when we are having an exchange rate of to dollar about 190 naira to a dollar or 180 naira to a dollar, we have foreign exchange to play up with at that time. Foreign exchange reserve was high, and the major earnings for foreign exchange in the country has been the petroleum export of petroleum crude oil. And they were then producing, Nigeria was producing about 2 million barrels per day, and or at times over 2 million barrels per day. So Nigeria was breaking up a lot of revenue of earnings from export of crude oil. There's some other areas where we generate foreign exchange and build up the dollar. But if you look at the situation in the about 3 years ago, CBN used to intervene in the forex market. They would put the $200 million in the forex market, and then the people were generally more comfortable, in accessing foreign exchange at that time. But that was because the petroleum export was doing well. But now, when the petroleum production of Nigeria crude oil is now at about 1 million barrels per day or even less, then obviously the foreign exchange earnings have built it to an unmanageable level, whereby it widens the gap between the official exchange rates, because CBN can no longer intervene in foreign exchange market by putting, say, $200, $100, $300 million as it used to do about 5 years ago. So that is what is widening the gap between parallel market and official exchange rates. And you know, Nigerians are more interested majorly for imported goods, either on account of superior quality or ease of getting some of these. So the fundamental issue is that we have to manage the economy properly in terms of generating foreign exchange if we want to unify the exchange rate.
Very well. So the benefits are clear for people, people who are in business organizations, people who import and export. It's also clear that it would prompt some economic growth. But for the non-dollar consuming Nigerian, contextually speaking, how will the unified exchange rate regime benefit them? How would it impact them?
Well, okay, and like I said earlier, when the exchange rates are unified, well, it assumes that the exchange rate that will be prevailing will be lower than what it is presently. And of course, the official exchange rate by CBN rate may be pushed up, be higher than what it is now. But first of all, you will ensure transparency in whatever for this financial transaction you want to do that will involve exchange rate. Secondly, the manufacturers, or importers of goods, and I hope it will be for essential goods like equipment, machinery, and so on, instead of using the Naira, the dollar, to be importing consumer goods like you are importing fruit juice and so on, things that ordinarily we should be able to produce in the country. Then, if we are using the foreign exchange to for the real sector, the economy will benefit. But one major thing, paradigm that shift that may happen is that the suspension or cancellation of fuel subsidy will mean that that Nigeria will. It doesn't mean that Nigeria will no longer import petroleum products until we are able to produce refined products locally. And thank goodness we are expecting Dangote refinery to go on stream in producing refined products in the next few months, certainly before the end of the year. So this will replace imported fuel, and it colossal sum of money, dollars we were using to import petroleum products, we have it diverted to some other things. That will give access to a number of importers of goods or equipment to be able to access foreign exchange. So this is the paradigm shift that may happen before the year runs out.
Doc, could that seep into pricing as well? You know, there's a unified exchange rate regime. The dollar is available. Importers have access to it. They don't have to run around for it anymore. Could that seep into price in that we could perhaps see a cent or two taking off the price of petroleum if that happens?
Yes, you see, the fact that you are producing refined products locally and you are no longer spending foreign exchange on importation of fuel will have positive effect on the exchange rate in the sense that the you know when when people don't have access to dollar, you know, through the official through CBN, they will go to any length to be able to have a dollar to do whatever they want to do, import whatever they want to import, and that's
Right.
what tends to drive people to parallel market. And the operators in the parallel market will be bidding the exchange rate so high, and that's why if official exchange rate is CBN rate is 465 or 461, and you have a parallel market at 750.
Indeed.
So what has led to this is because of desperation to have the dollar to do whatever you want to do. The people, importers are bidding the
Very well.
dollar.
Dr. Fawibe, Dr.
Yes.
Fawibe, before I let you go, just quickly tell us also what this, how it would affect our money markets, how it would affect our stock exchange, how it would also affect foreign direct investments to Nigeria, if any at all.
Okay, now for people who want to invest in Nigeria in terms of dollar, who are bringing their money here, then obviously if you have, say hypothetically, you have $100, and if the devaluation occurs, it means you will have more Naira. And then if the stock, if the shares are being sold at a particular price, it means you can acquire more. But it now becomes a major issue if you want to take your money back, because you then have to have, you know, a quantum of a higher, much more quantum of Naira to be able to buy corresponding exchange rate to be able to export. So
Right.
that translates to the differentials, you know, in terms of attractiveness of import as well as export. So
Very
and
well.
that boils down to what I said before, that when you devalue, you know, import will be more expensive and export will be cheaper.
Absolutely.
So I also translate into the stock market, you know, on this basis.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Fawibe, for your time and insight on the subject matter.
You are welcome.
Dr. Diran Fawibe is Group Chairman and CEO of the International Energy Services Limited based here in Lagos. Now, when we come back, let's talk about World No Tobacco Day and how to address the scourge of tobacco use and farming in Africa.